What's good, y'all? Michael here today with another video today. Before we begin, subscribe if you are new. Otherwise, I'm gonna grab a toothpick. I'm gonna stick it up your mouth and take out one of your tooth. So go subscribe if you don't want that to happen to you. But anyway, let's get into today's video. Understand something. Matthew Stafford, I'm holding you accountable for Detroit's failure. I don't want to hear about Matt Patricia this, Matt Patricia that. He doesn't have a good team around him. At the end of the day, you're the quarterback. Put up points, because I'm so sick and tired of being here how Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback. How are you a top 10 quarterback and you don't have a playoff win? You're 0-3 in the playoffs. You're 0-3 in the playoffs. That's sad, buddy. And that's your entire career. I'm holding you accountable in case the Detroit Lions fall. They will most likely fall on their faces next year. Detroit will not be anything for the next 15 years. And even without Stafford, this team won't be shit for like the 15 years, even without Stafford. Stafford doesn't have a playoff. I mean, let me put it this way. All those years that Aaron Rodgers kept getting hurt, Adrian Peterson didn't have a quarterback, and Jay Cutler was sticking up the joint, and somehow the Lions didn't win the division. Come on, man. You're telling me he's a top 10 quarterback even though he doesn't have a division win? Matthew Stafford has been to one Pro Bowl. One Pro Bowl. Let that shit sink in for a moment. I'm holding Stafford accountable. I expect him to put up MVP numbers if he's a top 10 quarterback like you all folks have been telling me. So let me put it to you this way. If Stafford was really healthy, would the Lions make the playoffs? Take away the what was the Green Bay called? The illegal hands to the face. Let's say they win that game and won 4. What else game would they have won? They weren't gonna beat the Bears, because here's the thing about the Bears. The Bears have made Matthew Stafford their bitch for like the past couple years. Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson, Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman. He opted out, but I'm pretty sure Roy Robinson Harris or Bilal Nichols will get in there. The Bears defense is going to be top 5. Imagine having Khalil Mack and Quinn, having Roy Robinson Harris, you Packers fans really got to stop trolling these Bears players, because you're going to encourage them to go after Aaron Rodgers week 11. It's week 11 that they play the Pack. You're going to really encourage Bears defensive players to come after Aaron Rodgers. You're going to really encourage them that badly to go after Aaron. But but let me get it to this way. Matthew Stafford is a career loser. He has 0 playoff wins out of his entire career. You telling me that this guy's top 10, he doesn't have a playoff win? Lamar Jackson has a better chance of getting a playoff win than him. But I'm going to put it to you this way. If you can't blame everything on Matt Patricia, you can't blame everything on it. When I look at Detroit's failures from 2018 to 2019, I blame that on Stafford before the injury. I blame that on Stafford. Completely blame it on Matthew Stafford. He's about to get benched for Chase Daniel sooner than later if he keeps this up. And Chase Daniel won't be the savior either, because Chase Daniel has rarely played in his career, and Bears fans wanted him, which are basically like, come on, man. Chase Daniel has barely played his entire career, and somehow you think this is good? Like, come on, man. Like, Bears fans need to shut up. Even with Tom Brady, we won't be good with his offensive line. But as of right now, I'm holding Stafford accountable. That's it. I don't care about Matt Patricia. As far as I'm concerned, okay, this is what I'm going to say. All the coaches will not, he has a terrible head coach. He has a bad head coach. He has a terrible play call, will not be an excuse next year. You take that horrible head coach to a Super Bowl. There is no such thing as a perfect coach. I mean, if you want to include Mike Ditka or the Dolphins head coach that RPM that had that perfect season. All in all, not every coach is a perfect coach. You drag that coach to a Super Bowl or you don't, plain or simple. You're telling me Matthew Stafford can't carry Matt Patricia to a Super Bowl? Matt Patricia has been to a Super Bowl and that was against Philadelphia. But all I'm going to say is this. No matter what Detroit does, no matter what their offseason does, they're not going to have an impact of the season. Remember when they overpaid Trey Flowers? They got Danny Amendola, and they got all these wide receivers, and Stafford can't do anything. Gronk nearly had to retire because he nearly, and I mean nearly, got traded to the Detroit Lions before he said, "No, I'm not playing for Detroit because that is a terrible team, and I don't want to waste my career there." Stafford could have demanded a trade a long time ago, but he's probably the only thing Stafford has done in Detroit is be the good soldier. Salute him, but you ain't shit. I salute you and all the shit. He might be the greatest Lion of all time. I don't know. He might be the greatest Lion of all time. You know, he had Megatron and Reggie Bush and still got blown out by Drew Brees in the dome. When Jared Goff, like, I got criticized for putting Jared Goff in my top 10. Jared Goff played Drew Brees in the conference championship game and won a title game. Matthew Stafford got blown out by Drew Brees. Jared Goff at least has been to a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford has not won a playoff game. Jared Goff beat Dak Bortles at home. Then he beats Drew Brees in a conference championship. Then goes to a Super Bowl. I rather have Jared Goff than Matthew Stafford. I rather take Dak Prescott than him. You know, here's the thing. I'm going to say this about Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky should have beat the Eagles. We've seen him drag his kicker down field goal range, and it wasn't his fault. He doinked it. Even though you can say it got blocked because it got tipped. All I'm going to say is this. At least Mitch Trubisky has won a division when the division has completely shit its pants. Aaron Rodgers tanked the season to get Mike McCarthy fired, and I don't know what was happening with the Vikings and them overpaying Kirk Cousins. Mitch Trubisky at least won the division. He has a division title and a great record as a starter, a 20-12 record under head coach Matt Nagy. If you want to exempt his rookie year, that's his current record right now. In real life, here's what I'm going to say about the playoffs. The playoffs are one game. They're not like a 7-game series like the NBA is. Ask yourself this question. Would the Bears, if the 2018 had a best-of-7 series, would the Bears really lose to the Eagles in a 7-game series? Ask yourself that, because Nick Foles got boxed by that Chicago defense. 2 interceptions, and he got sacked twice. Mitch Trubisky threw for over 300 yards and 1 touchdown and no interceptions that game. And he got his kicker in field goal range, but he double doinked. At least he should have beat the Eagles at a playoff win. So if you want to take away the double doink and says he has a playoff win, he is automatically a number 10 quarterback if Deshaun Watson never had that miracle because he has a playoff win. Mitch Trubisky has had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. That offensive line was garbage last year, top to bottom. His tight ends where Trey Burton was injured, which we got rid of him, by the way. Adam Shaheen that got benched after the Eagles game, and some tight ends that we never heard about. We didn't know who Ben Brodiker was. We didn't know who Jesper Horston was. We didn't know who J.P. Holtz was. We didn't even know who these folks were until they went on the field and they were introducing this. They were like saying their names on the like TV. He had no other wide receiver until Taylor Gabriel was out with a lot of concussions. He had no wide receivers other than Aaron, Allen Robinson. Now, Anthony Miller, which I do believe Anthony Miller will have a breakout season, And we have Ted Glenn Jr. as a number 3 wide receiver, and he's been very good. Been very good. He's a great punt returner. He's a great kickoff returner. He's pretty good with clutch. With this new offensive line, and actually might be top 3 with this new lineman coach that's stepping it up or notch. But all I'm going to say is this: if the Bears defense is top 3, like the top 3 defenses, because you check this out. Name one problem about the defense. I'll wait. I mean, if you want to include Danny Trevathan, I mean, I believe the backup will be fine, even if Danny goes out. But if you want to include the Eddie Goldman situation, which that will probably impact us if we don't sign not Everson Griffin. The dude just got signed by the Cowboys. We might get Snacks. That Snacks guy from the Lions. If we don't get Snacks, then we're probably going to have to be trusting John Jenkins. But all I'm going to say is, but that's it. That's all. Subscribe. Bear down always, and FTP.